All right, so while we're waiting for a couple people, let's talk about, does anybody have any wins that they want to discuss with the team? Erica, let's start with you because you said, I don't know if it's a win or a loss, but tell me how your $10 million lead that Jeff gave you went.
Okay, I wouldn't say that it's a loss. I just have to work on him a little bit. He opened up, he talked to me. So I saw that $10 million, and so I was concerned, and I knew it was two lots, but I wanted to know the size. So that was my most important thing. So I asked him, what are the sizes of the lots? And so he said that the lots are combination is 22,500. So I could see possibly that I mean, it's almost an acre. And so some of the properties are going for 1 million at one point or at a quarter of an acre, 0.25 or something like that. So, or either 0.125. So I could see that each of them could be almost or $5 million dollars each. I asked him if I could come out, and he said that he is going to do it himself, and that he wants me to find a buyer for him. Then he also said that if it doesn't work out, he doesn't get a buyer, then he's working on plans right now. So he's working on building structures onto these two parcels of land. So that's where I am right now with him. So I'll talk to you more.
Okay, well, here's what I like to do when we get, I mean, that, uh, when we first started doing this lead, so just so everybody know, this is one of the leads that we gave her. We actually have talked to the guy or so that we have a telemarketing service that has talked to the guy. And then somebody from our company actually follows up to make sure the number, everything's good, and they understand what we're doing. Then we pass them on to you guys. So this is one of those leads that we had given to. And when I had first started doing this, I wasn't really interested in getting $10 million leads. And then Jeff said, well, why not? Let's see how they fly and let's see how they go through, and let's see if we can work them and get those. So it's like, okay, well, let's give it a go. So now everybody's heard Erica. So she met with the guy. He wants to give her what I call a pocket listing. Okay. He's going to continue to do the for sale by owner thing, and which means that I'm sure he's got it on Zillow only. It's not getting any MLS exposure at all. And then, what advice would we give Erica, being that we're now sliding into this quote unquote buyer's market? What advice would we give to Erica, maybe to ring the guy's bell, then that he should talk to her? What can she go back to him and say, no, you really need to list this thing with me? And why should he do it through the platform? Anybody want to help her out?
What do they have to lose? Like, why not?
It's exposure too, I think. Being exposed to both, MLS and the platform, more eyes on the property.
So bring them an offer.
Mhm.
How about, hey, I'll bring you an offer that you can start negotiating. I'll bring you maybe even 2 offers. I can bring eyes on this property. You're just using Zillow. I mean, what marketing are you doing? I can do the XYZ. And I have a team behind me. I have a network behind me.
Well, and you could pay 0% commission.
Paul Cronin has his hand up. Paul, you got something?
Yeah, well, the way I look at things is I like to educate people. So at first I would say, I'd send in the article the fact that 74% of for sale by owners never execute. And when they do execute, they usually execute at 14% below market value. Is that what he wants as his outcome? Right. And obviously you hope they say no. And then he said, well, what we do is we actually help you get more eyeballs on the property, and we actually create, much more traction and a bidding opportunity, so that you're going to get a much more likely outcome by creating that opportunity than by trying to do an FSBO.
Absolutely. Anybody else have anything else for I chime in?
So what I've done before is when I've met with a FSBO, I can go out, I take video of the property. I also take pictures
And I have a app that I use that will create it into an actual, it looks like a very professional video tour of the property. And I give them that for free, just showing kind of value and that I'm there to help them. And then I ask them, do you want me to, now that we have this professional video, do you want me to market it for you? And again, it's just kind of showing them that I'm there, I'm giving them value. I'm there to help them. I offer services that they don't have access to.
So all exactly spot on. What do you bring to his current situation that he can't do himself? The first thing is the MLS exposure. The second thing is the professional marketing with the IDX feeds out to other areas. The third and most important thing is, why on earth wouldn't you want me to market your property and save you? Let's see, we have $10 million times, usually land is a 10% commission, right? What's 10% of 10 million? Somebody help me out here. $1 million, right?
Yep.
So you're telling me, Mr. Seller, that if I can save you $1 million and give you professional marketing, yada yada yada. So we got to come back to it, and then as we're tying in all of the stuff that the I can do by being a certified agent in the platform, we also come back to that the market's shifting, and there's two choices in the market that we're in, the buyer's market. We're either chasing the price up or we're chasing it down. You need the marketing, and you need my help to chase it up. Why would you want to hold on to this land for another year? What's your cost to hold on to it for another year? And so that Erica, great job keeping them engaged.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for your suggestions.
Very,
I'm gonna go
very
back.
impressed.
Thank
but-
you.
Pocket listings are worth. I'm not a big pocket listing guy, because we're actually going out and doing the work, and somebody else can come in with an offer and he'll take it, and then we've done all this stuff for nothing. And there's a lot of reasons why people should sign a contract. You got to hopefully get them to understand what's in it for them by them signing a contract. So very good, everybody. Who else? Any other wins or losses?
Kind of the same thing on that same note, though. You can act while you're continuing to work with that prospect. If he's given you permission per se to market the property, I would take again those pictures or that video and create a Facebook market listing for it. And then you can actually get leads. And then if you come back with a buyer, you can not only come back with a buyer, but if you have one you can say, now, if you don't want to pay my buyer's commission, let's put it on the platform. You don't have to pay either. And then you could double side it.
And I'll tell you another. I texted a lot of you out 2 video messages that came in yesterday. One from Donnie Bennett, who is an absolute stud with the buyer's premium. I mean, Donnie is the one that gets, I think, as high as 13.5% on the buyer's premium. He actually taught me a lot on how to manipulate buyer's premium, which helps us move into the REI stuff. And it's like, yeah, well, yeah, we have all this flexibility and stuff too. So, and then Quinn Greenly is another one that, so they went out. If we give them a lead and they don't make contact with the seller on the lead, they will leave them a voicemail and then follow up with a video text. And another thing, even if you go out to a listing appointment and you don't feel like you've done the job, it's a great thing to go back in and especially now, Erica, send them a video text and with this new outcome for you. And hey, I've been thinking about your listing. I want to make sure you understand what I do. because the successful agents that do, because we actually did a training on a video texting a couple years ago and how important it is to people. Not they identify with who you are, they see who you are. I always say that people through a text, through email, and sometimes you meet, they still don't know where our heart is. And if we just keep sending texts and videos, they don't see where our heart is. They'll relate a lot better to a video text. So that's another great follow through. So Quinn, are you available, Quinn, to talk?
Give me just a minute. I'm kind of transferring from my phone to my computer here. So
Okay.
give me like 2 minutes.
All right, because I want to go over Quinn's lead too that he had and stuff too. But there are, even if somebody doesn't get the concept or they're interrupting you. So today was supposed to be talking about hard money lending. The hard money lender is sick. She let me know yesterday morning. She apologized. And so hopefully next week, or maybe I can't have her be sick again and do this to me, but it was probably a better. I'm kind of glad she called in sick today because we've got to talk about this shifting market. And for all of you that still think that we're in a seller's market, we're not. Even in Seattle, we've slid into a buyer's, actually a strong, for the first time in 20 plus years, Seattle's got double the inventory than they do buyers. Now, when will that switch? When the interest rates come down. And I did receive something from some financial guru that said that they're expecting the interest rates by the end of August to be down in the low fives. So whether you believe it or not, I don't know, but I'm hoping and praying. But if it stays up into the sevens, there's getting to a point now where people have had these loans for a year and a half, 2 years. They're going to start walking away from them. And if everybody was a real estate agent in 2006 through 2008, that's when I got into real estate. And probably the worst time in real estate ever is what I've been told. But we have to adapt in our thought process. And even when we go out and do listing presentations, we got to adapt to moving into a buyer's market. What happens in a buyer? I'll give what happens in a buyer's market to prices of homes. How long do agents and buyers have to make a decision on a home? It's no longer where they're in a multiple bid situation. They have some time and luxury, right?
Correct.
And so all of those things got to play out into our listing presentation. I know that for our friends in Florida right now, they've been dealing with this for a year now because the hurricanes obliterated everything. Insurance companies are taking off out of Florida. Their prices are dropping faster than anywhere in the nation because of the infrastructure and because of the everything that homeowners need to facilitate a home. And I know that our successful agents, what they're doing is they're actually getting a Fannie Mae report from the title company. What the Fannie Mae reports are doing is telling the seller that your home's worth this today, but this is what it's going to be in 6 months from now. Would that be a valuable thing for your sellers to see inside this marketplace? And
Absolutely.
if they want to stay high and chase the price down, where in a year from now, where is that price going to be? To maximize their profit right now, they need to get in the game. They need to understand a realistic purchase price. And the other thing too, which our site allows, is everybody's got to be chasing the price up. You can't chase it down. And it's important that people understand it. Everybody knows. I'm sitting in a house right now that we've had listed now for 300 days. They had the choice when we did the listing to chase the price up or chase it down. their father advised them, put the price up higher and write it down. Don't put it on that platform. He's a real estate expert, but he sells furniture for a living. And it was even to a point because that I fought with these kids over doing this. We are on our 7th price drop. We are now down under what they bought the home for. And what do you think is going to happen on the first offer I get? Somebody really going to come in where it's at right now? It's $3,000 less than the kids bought the home for. No, but they're going to come in 10, 15, 20 grand less. And I tell these stories over and over and over, not to say I'm right, this, that. I'm telling you this because you got to convey this to your sellers now. This is the real life of an agent right now. And Mr. Seller, you have to convince them is that I have so many damn ways to sell your home. You need to come with me and maximize your value. Let's talk about cash buyers. I'm not the typical investor that's going to come in and try to rip you off. I have that available for you, but I've got so many other ways to make you more money. You got to bring everything that now we bring into the equation with our full service selling side of the business. And then you've got to follow. For those of you who are doing listing presentations and you're not using the story, you're not using the purchase sale agreement, you're not using bidding, I don't know if you guys know how hard it was to get the buyer's agent, the buyer's brokerage, obviously the selling brokerage, we didn't mind. Honestly, since we were listing, we own the brokerage, but to have everybody agree to actually letting me use that purchase sale agreement to show sellers, so sellers can see a real working transaction. Sellers need to see that stuff nowadays because they got every scammer, every investor, everybody in the world trying to steal their home. And we come into it, yeah, we can do all the same things that people do, but I'm not here to rip you off. I'm here to maximize your value. In a buyer's market, we have to adjust our pitch. And whether it's we go into our title company and we get a Fannie Mae report that's saying and why is a Fannie Mae report important to know what's going to happen 6 months down the road? Because that's all they're predicting that they're going to be able to lend on it, right? So all of these things, these tidbits that we give you, you need to utilize them inside of your business, inside your listing presentations. It's like all hands on deck. This is a blown five-star alarm, however you want to call it, that you need me right now. There's no other choice for you because I can accommodate and make you the most amount of money of anybody out there. And all that stuff. If we don't want to do partner up and do a novation, if we don't want to do a CAD, if we don't want to do any of the investment stuff, I can always come back and sell your home and not charge you a commission. And what did Kat say? What do you have to lose? You're getting MLS marketing. You're getting professional photos. You don't have to worry about knuckleheads coming in, through your house, ripping you off, or maybe even potentially killing you. I mean, how many times that happened, right? Where for sale by owners, they walk through the home and end up robbing them. And so anyways, but we're moving back into this thing where everybody has to know how much that we are a needed commodity. And I love, if you guys I think we're down to 2 million real estate agents. And here we've got a handful of 500-600 of you. I mean, you understand that you can say, listen here, Mr. So-and-so, less than 0.01% of people are certified on this platform that we can actually sell your home and not charge you a commission. I'm the only one that can bring it to you. I've done my hard licks. I've done all these things. I've paid more money to get certified. We have meetings. I'm constantly growing and learning about this stuff. Nobody else is getting that. I bring that to the, if you guys aren't using that certification to separate yourselves from 99.9% of the agents, huge mistake. Because sellers love that stuff. It's value. I have something that nobody else has. You don't have any other options but to go with me.
I'll give it a real example. So I'm in Florida. I'm not in the market to buy anything, but I just like looking at what goes on in the Cocoa Beach area. Obviously, you can imagine there are a lot of condos here, a lot of condos that are owned by investors, a lot that were purchased for, thought that they could handle renting properties out, but not all HOAs allow short-term rentals. So a lot of Bambi, young investors thinking that this would be a great opportunity to buy a bunch of condos a few years ago. Insurance rates going up, HOAs raise their rates. We had an influx of condos coming to market over the last 2 quarters. So ton of inventory just for condos as the property type. Median sale price, average days on market. What do you think happened there? A bunch of condos flooding to the market when HOAs have tight terms, raising costs. All of those condos were sitting. So now we have a huge spike from the median price point being just over 700K for condos in Cocoa Beach, dropping to about 350K for what's actually selling. And everything else is still sitting unsold or being pulled off the market and turned back into a rental. So if you're taking Robert's value add, obviously the benefit of working with me, what I can offer you is, look, you have these holding costs. I have a structured and faster way to get your property sold so you can get rid of those holding costs. You don't have to pay me a commission. But what's their actual pain point? You got to put that into the terms of the seller. I couldn't sell this condo. I see everybody else panicking to try to sell their condo. I don't want to sell it for less than I paid. Well, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, I understand that. But let me talk to title. Let me see what they're predicting. You're worried about losing money, a few thousand, if you have to reduce your price to sell right now. But there is a chance that if you wait a few months, not only would you have to drop it way further down to sell, but you're going to be paying holding expenses that whole time. So your job is to be a guide. You don't know exactly what's going to happen in the future. But if you can kind of get a framework and understand what the seller's worried about, the best advice to them might be selling sooner rather than later. And they just want someone to point to them that it's okay to take a smaller loss and I'll help you save on commission and get it sold sooner, rather than this just being red on your balance sheet 6 months from now, 12 months from now. So you have to take these benefits, what we offer, you have to do some discovery with the seller, find out what their actual situation and specific pain points are, and match. You always have to match make the benefits you can offer somebody with what somebody actually feels. Otherwise, it's not going to resonate. So.
Well spoken, well spoken. Paul.
I was just giving Kat an applause for what she just described.
That was an applause.
Yeah, that was an applause. Thanks, Kat. That was awesome. I love it.
Yeah, and look at your don't just think of general rates. I have a colleague in DC, so DMV area. He's a mortgage lender, and he's saying that it's messy for the middle price points. The bottom and top quartiles are fine. So for him, and I don't know, in DC, I'm assuming middle price point is probably like 800K above, a little bit different than where I'm here in Brevard County. But figure those things out in your market. Where are the pain points being felt the strongest? What's still moving? What is your competition targeting? Because I would imagine an influx of investors are going to run in here. If it's too expensive to take out loans, they're going to target things that are a smaller price point for them to get into, which means you're going to have more competition competing for those lower price point properties. If You got to think in like real granular terms specific to your market. So I don't know if anyone has just feedback on their local market conditions, what you're noticing. If you notice something in your market, we could have strategies for you. Just spitball, you guys.
Yeah, so the open house, the sale that we're going to be doing this weekend, it's actually one of the perfect houses to be selling in Southwest Florida because the issues we're having are with the hurricanes and insurance. While this is in Cape Coral, which is a barrier, it's very close. This one's not close to the water, and it's a larger home that's in flood zone X. So I told that when I was talking to the seller, I'm like, this is going to be more attractive, especially as the storms get worse, because there's no flood insurance required. So those kind of things are selling points when we actually go to sell the house.
And I know we have agents all over the country, but flooding has become a much bigger conversation and concern for a lot of states this year. Tennessee, think about how many major weather storms over the last 2 years involved flooding. So even just looking up the difference, understanding how to look up flood maps, all that's public information. And you can even see like, last year the flood zone went all the way to here, but they reduced the flood zone margin this year. So now these properties might be in a prime position to sell this year and weren't last year based on insurance rates being different. So just like nerd out with your local market data. Just do it. Like spend like 2 hours just like looking up random things about your market and just get some ideas popping to your head. Because just like Mikkel said, he just found a way to have a sales pitch for a property that I guarantee you 95% of other agents and probably 75% of investors aren't even thinking about looking at. And that right there is an advantage.
And I'm excited to see what Robert has to say about probate because that's originally why I got on the platform. I came from Probate Mastery. Those heirs, they need money sometimes. And we have the ability to liquidate houses, not only for more money, saving them commission, but faster because we have a high energy event. So there's plenty of people that we can be helping with this.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and address the probate?
Yeah, for several reasons. I think and again, going into pain points, one of the biggest pain points of probate, there's a bit of misunderstanding, right? Mom passes away, kids inherit the property. They think most families store their generational wealth in the primary residence. And this is, for most people, what their inheritance is going to amount to. But then they find out there was a lien on the property. There are Medicaid liens. It could be a construction lien. It could be anything. Reverse mortgage. Whatever they think that the house is worth because they have sentimental attachment to it, house isn't actually going to sell for that much. So what happens? Maybe you have a family of 4 siblings that are all heirs, and what they thought was going to be this big inheritance left behind by mom and dad, all the sentimental value there, they're suddenly finding out that after they pay all the estate costs to settle the estate, they deal with any liens, the property needs to be fixed because it's a beautiful home, but it needs some at least cosmetic updates because mom and dad have been living in it for 30-40 years. And lo and behold, what they think all of us could have walked away with, like $100,000 a piece, ends up being way less than that. Way less than that. A lot of families end up walking away with 0 or nothing, like close to nothing. And then they have to pay an agent commission to list and sell the property. So right
And
there.
Kat,
Go ahead.
Kat, that's exactly what I'm dealing with my mother-in-law's property. It's built in 1951. Although the roof has been replaced once, people are noticing that it's got a sagging roof. It's got mixed electrical. A lot of it is ungrounded. She's got some plumbing issues. The main hall or the hallway is sloped.
And
yet,
this is a different conversation than if an investor comes to you and wants to offload a property that's in their portfolio. The investor is going to be like, yeah, the roof is sagging a little bit. It has these conditions, but I don't want to deal with it. I think it's about worth this much. Totally different conversation.
exactly.
When you're dealing with a family that's lived there, there's nothing wrong with my house.
Perfect. Mom's lived here for years.
So it's a totally different approach that you have to take in a conversation you have to have. But what happens if the family, because they're so attached, their heart is in that house, they want to hold on to it. And oftentimes it's one sibling, a lot of parents that do some degree of planning will pick out the child that they think is the most responsible and just say, oh, they're the ones that will have the best rational mind to keep their siblings from fighting with each other. And then that person, that sibling that has to deal with everything, probably lives in another state. Most people don't live in the same state as their family members anymore. They work full time, they have families of their own, and now they have to deal with the paperwork and the probate case and the property in another area. And guess what happens? You either have a sibling living there, oftentimes the sibling isn't keeping up with the bills. So now you're in a position where you have to become a hard ass to your own family member. Look, mom's gone. You're living there. You need to pay the electric bills, the utilities. And then they don't, and you get to fighting, or nobody's living there. And you have to make sure the property's weatherized. You have to make sure that there's no squatters. And depending on what state that property's in, if there's a squatter that gets in there, it is a nightmare. I would say it's always a nightmare, but there's some areas where it's going to be a way bigger nightmare than ever before. You're probably going to just look for a cash for keys situation. But you can solve all these problems. Someone going through probate, you're worried that I'm going to choose a realtor to go with because you think I'm going to go around and sneak tip you, okey doke you, and sell the property and pocket more than it's worth. Well, with a transparent platform, you can see exactly what people are offering. So you can't turn around and accuse me of hiding offers from you so I can keep more money and not really tell you what the paperwork shows. Right? So if you're fighting with siblings, the transparency is a huge value. If they're dealing with attorneys and they're overwhelmed, the personal representative, the executor's overwhelmed because this is now a full-time job managing probate. Do you know how much easier your conversations as an agent with a probate estate, real estate attorney would be if you can say, hey, here's our timeline for the property. Here's how it works. Here's the offer terms. Here's what the timeline for closing looks like. I have backup offers ready because the way we do this, I can very easily secure backup offers. And the attorney can handle everything from there. Family gets to stay out of it. Only a one and done open house. You don't need to disturb whether it's family members or the property is unoccupied. You get to be the boots on the ground and you only need to do a one and done. There's just so many benefits. And again, for the person dealing with being a personal representative of an estate, inheriting mom's house, that inherited a full-time job by being appointed administrator of mom's house, you can come in and lift that entire weight off their shoulders and save them a commission in doing so. Why wouldn't a probate seller want to work with someone that can put their home on the Easy Real Estate platform if it needs to be sold? Someone that can help them do a novation if the house needs some work, because after it's repaired, it could go all the way up to here. You guys know the company Curbio? Consumers love the concept of Curbio. Now, I have my opinions about Curbio. I don't think it plays out the way that people think it plays out. I think it ends up being very expensive and it's just, it's loaded in on the back end. I don't think it's ultimately a good experience. But the pitch of Curbio is you can't pay to fix your home right now. Sign up for our program. You'll pay a bunch of installments. We'll make your house sell for more. And I think Curbio ends up making a lot of the money. The agent gets the deal because Curbio's paying to do these improvements, which gets the agent to win the listing. But I don't think it ends up being a win for most consumers. But what about innovation, like something that Robert, you can take it over from here. How is something that what Adam and Mike Weiland can do with innovation, Ryan Baker, how is that a bigger win for all parties than going the Curbio route? And seriously, consumers love Curbio because it sounds good.
The Curbio without the back end fees. So, and again, you guys, the novations mean that we're going, instead of giving them a cash offer and basically, taking their family property, we can partner up. If they don't have enough money to fix the home up, we can actually partner with the seller and make them more money. The first novation, we were offering the lady $20,000 more than Open Door was going to pay her for the home, and we were going to go and do the work, and the company was going to make $20,000. So when I had told her that we were willing to do that for her, she started crying on the phone. And remember, this is Mike Weiland that was on one of these Topic Thursdays that said, I had a listing price at I think it was at 270 or something on the home. And they went direct to the seller and said, I'll buy your home for $272,000. And so the lady pulled the listing from Mike. In one of our training calls, I said, "What? Hey, let me talk to the lady. That this is the area that we have moved into." Called the lady up, explained the program to her, and all of a sudden we were the heroes. And she started crying because there was actually somebody out there representing her and cared about how much money she was going to pull out of the house. And that's what separates us from Curbio. It's what separates us from everybody. We're looking to legitimately partner up with them and make them more money. What's in it for them? But I want to take what Kat just went through on talking about the probate process. Now I want to talk about, and excuse the word, about our idiot real estate friends that are going into a listing appointment of their own, promising the world. And we got a home, and I'm not going to bring up who the home is, that doing comps inside the neighborhood. There was a brand new redone home at $675,000. And so one of our agents was on the third, fourth, or fifth realtor that they talked to. Somebody, without coming into the home, without paying attention, said, "Hey, I'll get you $695,000 on a home with a garbage roof. When you walk down some of the hallways, they're stared down. All the carpeting's got to be replaced. A lot of the walls need to be replaced. The electricity's no good. The plumbing's no good. Not a chance in hell they're going to get $695, much less $675. For 200, if we were to go in and put $250,000 into that home, it'd be worth $675,000. So we as agents walk into these hostile situations where a seller has been fed a pile of crap about what the home's worth. And when they don't want to listen, when you're not making the point about what you can do for them by being the certified specialist and all these things that you have available at your fingertip, all the sellers want to hear is, well, no, I want you to list for $695. I want you to list for $695. I want you to list it for $6. They don't hear one damn word about the guys BSing you. So what I'd like to throw into this group, and I'd like to hear, how would you guys, because this is the reality. As we slide into a buyer's market, you're going to be competing against agents that are absolutely lying to the sellers. This home is not a chance it's going to get $695. And yet that's all these people hear. Well, this realtor said we can get $695 for the thing. How do you overcome that in the real world with a buyer's market emerging? Let's hear some ideas and then I'll tell you my feedback on it. Throw them out, everybody. Quinn, what do you got to say about that?
What evidence did they show you that they can get you that?
There is no evidence. They can't. It's impossible. Showed me a $675,000 home that was done to the nines, and this thing needs $200,000 of work to get it up to that. Go ahead, Quinn.
Yeah, I like to counter that with data, because anybody can tell you something, but if they can't back it up with data, then it's not reality. So in a market that's increasing, where stuff's going up in value, yes, they may be able to get that, but if it's actually going down in value and you can show that, at least you're level setting them with reality, rather than, okay, this is my opinion. I hate arguing opinion. Like, my opinion doesn't mean crap. It's what the data says, where the market's going. And, kind of to that point, like, I went into this listing appointment yesterday, and Robert, you and I talked about this, where, you know, I'm kind of looking at some of the data reporting I'm seeing from some of the title companies, and then I actually go and pull the actual MLS data and kind of compare it, and it's not the same thing. The market's actually worse. It's way worse than they were saying. I'm like, okay, this is the reality of what you're facing, and trying to kind of just level set with that seller. Now he wasn't really open. He wasn't open to hearing what it is, but at the same time, he's going to be able to look back and say, actually, that guy was right. I should have listened.
Yeah.
So
This is a follow-up season more than ever.
yeah.
Very good.
Robert, can I ask a quick clarifying question? What is the people that want 695? What are they saying as to justify that number?
A road real estate agent gave him that the home was valued at 695.
And did the rogue say it or give them like a CMA or something?
Said it. There's no way you could back it up with numbers.
Right, that's what I meant by when I made the statement.
Okay.
What evidence did they show to them for them to just drop everything else and believe this? They
Yeah.
didn't give them facts. They didn't give them printed materials showing them this.
This, and I'm gonna come back in and just say, this is why you guys leaning on the certification court. I mean, you realize 2 million agents, 500. Anybody know the percentage? You're 1/10 of people that have gotten certified in this thing. That when you can come in and say, listen, I've taken this course so I can save you money even selling your home and not charging you a commission. Nobody else can do that. But this company that I belong to, all they do is listings. And here's the great news. I tell everyone, take ownership of the company. That we don't lie to people. We have no hidden agendas. The only thing that we care about is making you the most amount of money and being honest and ethical. You get to see, Mr. Seller, you don't have to accept any offer made. But guess what? If it hits your numbers and you like it, you can accept it immediately. Or I can go and counter it. Or I can go, but when it's why I love in the listing presentation that I do, I am pulling out all the facts of what it looks like. We got to get the price chasing up. There's plenty of homes on the website. You know, Quinn, your testimony with your buyers and stuff. I use that damn video all the time. All these tools that we have at our fingertips that you guys have brought into the company. And what amazes me, most of you don't even use what you brought into the company. You got to get back into what's in it for them and why they need you. You are just a very few of the chosen. This company is going to go on an agent recruiting spree starting Monday. Bet my bottom dollar, because I'm the one that's going to be doing it. My goal is to bring in 1,000 new agents by the end of August. And I hit my numbers, guys. Always. But just think of who you are right now and who you're competing against. The reason why for sale by owner even exists is because people don't trust real estate agents. Every time, and I call it going into a hostile situation. Every time I go into a hostile situation when they've met, that my story that was sitting in a Starbucks, I was the 10th realtor that guy met with. Dave Ramsey, counselor to this day, moved from Washington to Florida to get out of the politics there. What did it do? Remember, the last Keller Williams agent that met with him promised him he could get him $400,000. The other 8 realtors that he met with beforehand said $350 to $375. And if we were to do a net sheet on $350,000, he's going to net $300,000 because he owned the home outright. Simply by making this thing a complete, transparent, and being certified on this site, that $350,000 traditional deal ended up at $451,500 with 22 offers. The last 13 offers made in the last 29 minutes because of the 2-minute carryover every time an offer is made. And what doesn't that 451.5 include? The buyer's premium, right?
Remember, the accepted offer is what the seller's essentially putting in their pocket, guys.
Yeah. And how much is that above? What's $451,000 above 350,000? And remember, if they did 350, you're going to net 300. All of a sudden, now we're $150,000 over market value. Yes, that was done in a strong seller's market. But the concept is still the same. You're either chasing the price up or you're chasing it down. You guys ought to be so damn proud being a master certified agent with Easy Real Estate Platform. And use it to leverage. The content that Kat has added into our website is phenomenal. Again, a lot of you have given us stuff to use in videos. Why aren't we using those things to get the sell?
That's why I say
was-
put everything in the Facebook group so people can see it, find it. Use words in your caption if you were to search for it to find it in the future. Try to use words that you would think to use to search for it in the future, but drop it in that Facebook group. I want to, you said the word leverage, talking about our certifications, and I'm still thinking about how Erica said, what is your proof? I love true crime. I love trials. There's a technique that attorneys try to use. Opening statements, closing statements, you set the roadmap for your conversation. It's selling. Lawyers sell. From the gavel to gavel, a lawyer's job is to sell the jury on something. And one of the techniques that they try to use is rather than tell the jury everything, treating the jury like they're stupid and can't figure out common sense conclusions for themselves. Purposely leave things blank and let the jury come to the conclusion on their own. So if you're approaching a hostile environment where a seller doesn't trust real estate agents, they're not going to trust what you say. How can you start a conversation about market conditions in the economy and what's going to happen if they're not going to trust what you say? What do?
So part of I put it in the chat. After I go through the solds, I talk about the expireds. And I have a slide that says the realtor reverse auction. It's exactly what Robert was talking about with Allen's. People will get 3 to 5 agents. And one agent decides, hey, I'm going to give the highest price. I'm going to get the listing. Well, in today's market, that thing's not going to sell. And the agent knows it. So he gets the listing and then he decreases the price. And that's why there, on my MLS, there's 2,000 to 3,000 price decreases a week.
So this is great, but I've got the before we get there. If we are not sure if this seller potentially has trust issues with agents, they're on guard to find a reason to counter anything you say to them because they don't trust your profession. Ask them what they think. Start with a question. Well, what do you think that's going on with the market? What do you see happening with home values? And then they might not give you a realistic answer, but I would say that majority of people might feel the same type of trends, echo the same type of news that you're going to use data and show them what actually is the result of that. But when you let them say it, and then you go, yeah, that is what's going to happen. Let's talk about, this reverse concept. We pull up the slide that Mikkel just put up. Now we're showing them something that confirms the thoughts that we let them express rather than us starting off by telling them, this is the way it is, trust me. So get over the trust problem by starting with a question. Let them feel smart.
Can I ask a question here?
Yeah.
Yeah. What we're doing here, I don't know, somebody correct me. Is it the same thing as giving a guarantee to the seller that he's going to sell his house for X number of dollars, right? So, for example, if he wants 600,000, he say, yes, I'm giving you this guarantee that I'm going to sell it for. Anything above that is my commission. You don't pay me commission, but anything above what I'm going to sell it, Is that the right way to put it?
Donnie Bennett has done that and had success with it. He's not on this call. He's been out for a while. He's on our YouTube channel. He might be a familiar face if you've explored our YouTube channel, but he's done that exact strategy. And it worked. And I don't remember the final outcome numbers, but Robert, you remember that, right? He had like a flat fee coming in, he had the buyer's premium, and he had anything above the amount. He had like
$30,000 on a $200,000 sale.
from initially a hesitant seller. He said that seller gave him pushback, like, nah, you're not gonna.
So, but you know, you can say, hey, if I don't get it for you, you can cancel at any time. You can put that to give them.
Yeah, that's awesome, Michael. Thank you. Hey, so we're getting near our hour, but one of the things I want to end up with this thing, this is going to just follow in right with what Kat said. People always ask me, like, when you go to a listing presentation, what do you start with? What do you do? You're going through the numbers, you're trying to figure out the cost. And it's like, no, I don't even talk to them about real estate. What I do is I do a walkthrough with the seller. Why is it important for me to do a walkthrough? Because I want to ask them questions. I want to gain some common ground and find a place where we can mutually agree so that we trust each other. And if you don't think that conversation is probably the most important thing to do on a listing presentation, all of a sudden now, because everything that I've learned about him, I'm using inside the presentation, and I know where he needs to be to sign the listing paperwork, I'm learning about him and his hot buttons and his problems that he has. And all I'm doing is overcoming his problems with real estate. But that always happens with a dialogue. When you do a listing presentation, it's nothing more than a dialogue between each other. We ask questions that we know the answers to. We don't ask questions that we don't know the answer to. You ask those on the walkthrough. And then once you know them and once you feel like you're ready to sit down and start talking about the house, you need to have something, some common ground, something inside of your arrow, your quiver that you can identify with them and solve a problem for them. So that being said, we're at our hour in. I got to ask, for all of you that are on camera, Ace, what the hell are you looking at through that thing?
He's looking at
like
us.
so like this allows me to see multiple screens at once without having those multiple screens. Yeah. So like for
All
like
right.
very intense days, like say for example, say for example on one screen I could see kind of the market data on what's going on within certain communities that I'm kind of just like either farming or getting data on. Another screen I can see you guys. Another screen I can see what's going on in the stock market because that's pretty volatile right now. Yeah, so
That's awesome. That's good. I don't want to care. Yeah. I ask when I see things like this, you guys, my first thing is ask a question because this is the generation right now that's buying homes. What did Ace just tell you that could separate you aside from working with somebody his age? That's right. All these things, these things that we do, let's learn from each other. We're a community. Quinn, how many times have you gone in and helped people that were struggling, like with listing presentations and maybe even just struggling with getting their feet on the ground? How many times have you helped somebody in the community?
10, 15, I don't know.
And you guys, this is what this is all about. It's building a community. It's getting stronger together. It's all of these things that we're giving you today. It's thinking outside the box. It's to make you better than anybody else out there. We're not going through all these stories to fluff up anything. We're going through these stories because this is the reality of today's market. And I'll tell you what, if the interest rates don't bebop down, we got 2006 coming right around the corner. You want to be with us because the worse the market gets, the better you're going to do.
And the one thing I'd echo, Robert, is that one thing you said earlier is the market's really shifting. We need to change our listing presentation. And that's kind of why I was reaching out yesterday. I'm like, you know, the way I presented yesterday, that listing presentation doesn't work anymore in this market. What do you do? So if you can send me that, I'd appreciate that. I'm sure everybody would love to have more of that concise, specific.
Yeah, it'll be coming after this, Quinn. And
Yeah.
you guys, Quinn, he was working on one of our leads and he ran into some resistance yesterday. But I also think too, Quinn, has this meeting helped you at all? Quinn,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one of the reasons I like to stay engaged in this community is I always get a takeaway from every conversation, hearing, you know, some of the other ideas. Even yesterday, like, here's what Donnie Bennett's doing. Like, oh, that's brilliant. Like, like I'm gonna do that because that, you know, it was very real, and you know that just text video message. Okay, I'm going to duplicate that. These are the kind of things I think that can kind of set us apart. And specifically when we're marketing in this way, we can't go to somebody in our brokerage and say, hey, how would you recommend I do this? You know, they're going to go down the traditional path, and it's not going to work for this model. So,
and this model will set you free.
yeah.
The better we get collectively as a group, the better. And again, why are we doing all of this stuff? This isn't about money, you guys. This is about a failing industry that tech has come in and ruined, and we're trying to take it back and put it right back in your pockets. This is all about you guys. People, and I've had this conversation. Mona and I have been offered money to sell this program several times. We're not selling. The bigger thing out there right now is taking real estate back and putting it in the agent's hands. That's the goal that we all, and every single person that has an ownership equity interest, because now there's not just one of us, there's 8 of us. Hearts in the same place. It's the bigger picture. It's about making you guys better. It's about making sure our agents, that we start dominating the interest with honesty and integrity and no hidden agendas.
Robert, question real fast, out of curiosity. You said there's about 500 plus people that have signed up for the Easy Real Estate platform. And of that 500, how many would you say are using the certified program? The percentage?
To the people that are in this call, that's the honest truth, Erica. That's why we need to get everybody back. If you guys have noticed, a lot of you have resurfaced back up because of the campaign Jeff ran. You know, people have things that happen in their lives, and you know they change. They get with these emerging markets, knowing that we have a way to change their lives. Maybe they're going through some stuff as well. But that's why I encourage you, keep coming into the community. Quinn, I can't. He and Donnie Bennett have helped tons of our people, getting them grounded, getting them. He is an absolute stud. When it comes, his videos are amazing, but yet we all have to stay in check, talk about the new emerging markets, talk about strategies to make us better, and figure this stuff out together collectively as a community. So, and if you guys notice, for those of you who've been gone for a while, these Topic Tuesdays were 1 and 2 people. And I mean, all of a sudden now I think we're averaging 20 on the Monday calls and 20 on the Thursday call. That's huge. But we need to keep it going. So, because we've got the answer to every single type of lister in the world. And the other thing is too, you guys, so none of us really want to work with buyers, right? Well, you know what? Buyer lead is going to be coming too because of what we're doing. So we've just touched the tip of the ground with the leads. One thing I am proud to say that Quinn did get his listing appointment. Joy's got her listing appointment. Erica's got her listing appointment. Cynthia, were you any of those leads were you able to get a listing appointment with that we've sent you?
Not yet, Robert. I'm still following up with the doctor, so it's coming. It's coming. He's
Okay.
recovering, so it'll happen.
So that the leads are they're getting you in the door, and you know what? We're not going to get everyone. We don't plan on getting everyone, but that's what I love about this group. Let's come in and be honest, and let's see if we can fix it for the next one.
Hey,
Right?
what do you guys think about California market? Can anybody give me any kind of feedback? What are you guys thinking?
That's pretty broad market.
I know that's
The California market.
it's huge. But overall, what do you guys think?
Well, I know the Los Angeles is still I think they're in a neutral market based on what I'm seeing on the site and what's selling. You guys, but you're moving into a buyer's market a little bit slower than Seattle did. Usually Seattle is after California. Seattle, blammo, 2 weeks ago, slid into a strong buyer's market. So you guys are coming. You'll be in a buyer's market for too long, but it's a good time to get out and start getting listings before you get there, Michael. Use these things that we're talking about to go get listings. So anyways, you guys, I appreciate everybody. Kat, Adam, anybody, Michelle, anybody have anything else to say? Joey?
Yes, like if I can get on somebody's calendar in order to try to like kind of just retune or like fine tune my strategy. Like so essentially I was able to secure a listing, but and like they see the value in utilizing the plat or like the strategy, but I really don't know how to present the platform in a way that yeah, and I've kind of been dragging my feet on it as well too, like on making this thing go live, mainly because I really don't know how to convey it properly, or I don't feel
Ace,
comfortable.
I'm going to send you out the same video I'm going to send out to Quinn Greenly.
Mhm.
And then Joey, maybe you and I can bolster that up and do a little bit of work with them and do some role playing.
I'm happy. I'm happy to help. You can reach out to me.
Okay, is
You
there
have my number.
availability today?
What was your question, Ace?
Would y'all have availability today?
I'm traveling today. I can talk in the car for a little bit. Sure. I could definitely do something tomorrow. I will be stationary, so I'm happy to jump on a Zoom tomorrow.
Okay, gotcha.
Can I get into the Zoom, please?
Sure.
This is Michael.
Hey,
Can you
Ace,
send me the link? The same
Ace,
time.
kind of quick question. What aspects are you struggling with? Like, I mean, there's kind of a lot of little things I do, and one of those is just around kind of an agent introduction video, showing video, and then that I send them like, hey, this is how it works, and certain things to just kind of streamline my process. I'm not sure kind of where you're at in your process of listing and what's the challenge? It sounds like you've already got the listing, so that's already done. But
Mhm.
what is it that you're having a challenge with?
I guess essentially just establishing a process, right?
Okay.
What happened, Gwen, is we brought agent Ace, gosh, Ace, sorry. We brought
Sorry.
Ace in, we tried to fast track him because we had an investor in his neighborhood. He never really got through the full training.
Oh,
So
okay. I got it.
we've got
Okay.
it. We're not going to be fast tracking people anymore. We're actually going to make them go through the same protocol everybody else is, and it's just something we got to do to be successful
Yeah.
on the company. So these are all the things that we're learning because then all of a sudden the investor comes in with hey, I need an agent right now. Blah, 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 blah. So we fast tracked him in and didn't give him the right tools to understand what we do. So
Got it. Okay.
so you're trying to stay up with the emerging market and trying to outthink ourselves. Sometimes you learn the hard way.
It's
But
okay.
we'll get
Fail
Ace.
forward, fail
We'll
fast.
get you on board. We'll get you snuffed up and get you into the real stuff here. And other than that, everybody,
I put my phone number on the chat, so if you want to reach out.
Okay.
22. I got it. Thank you.
Sounds like a workshop. Maybe we got to do on Monday. Hey, and by the way, Greg Bilbro's on this thing.
I'm
He
here.
came up with a brilliant idea on Monday meetings. Greg, you want to tell him what we're going to be doing?
Yeah, and sorry, my camera or video, I don't know what's going on. It just won't unclick. So I'm here. So the idea is we want to set everybody up for success with their first listing, or if you're or your first few listings, or if you're struggling. And the goal is to do what I'm kind of calling and coining, and Robert's a pilot, so it's sort of fitting, is a pre-flight checklist. And the pre-flight checklist is the idea is like, let's say Monday morning at 8 a.m., whatever that means, you have to submit your pre-flight checklist on your deal that you're going to list in the coming weekend, like the coming Wednesday, Thursday. And the idea would be, and we'll come up with a structure, a template for it. Obviously, it's like a checklist. And the whole goal, and I'm not a pilot, but I've said this a bunch of times as a business guy, just as a joke. I know what every single thing, every single dial and lever does inside an airplane, of every airplane. And the answer is help prevent death. That's what they're all there for. And so so that's the idea behind building a checklist, is every single one of the ways that one could fail, make an error, screw it up, whatever that might mean. We want to put that on the checklist. And then what we want to do is we want to make sure that that's scrubbed, your deals are scrubbed in advance of going to the, and if we scrub it and find an issue, then we'll red flag it. And I mean, there's no red flags. It's just like, we're going to point to it and say, hey, why are you listing it for this price? Or why are you doing pictures this way? Or tell me about your rationale about running your open house on a Sunday rather than Saturday when Sunday is Father's Day. That's a bad idea. Stuff like that, right? And so it's just to kind of check and make sure there's no rookie mistakes. And so you submit your pre-flight checklist before, then that means you can gain, you come to the 10 a.m. or whatever time it is in your guys' your zip code, time zone. And then we come and we look and review your pre-flight checklist as a group. And what this does is it makes you learn what mistake you're making. But just like we all known in college and whatever else, everybody else in the group also sees that mistake and gets to learn that they're never going to make that either. So the group teaches the group, and the group kind of polices the listing quality, reviews the listing quality of the group. And it's not even just the listing. And I'll close with this. It's the platform, literally what's going on the platform, because that's what people's eyeballs see. So if the platform's wrong, we're already off the rails. So the platform's got to be right and tight, like zero typos, the right pricing, the right pictures, the right remarks, the right everything. And then there's process. What are you doing? How are you going to do it? Did you do pre-marketing? What kind of pre-marketing? How much pre-marketing? Was it paid pre-marketing, or were you knocking doors? How many days in advance? What were those results from pre-marketing? Do you think you drummed up a little bit of pre-marketing business? Good. Did you not do pre-marketing? Shame on you. What are you going to do in your 5-day open house? And are we going to stick to a 5-day open house? I kind of going to argue not right now, but I think we need to go to 2 weekends. And me and Robert and team will figure that out later. But I've got thoughts. And so are we going to stick to the 5-day stuff in declining market? Is that still the way to go? And I don't know the answer, but I know a pre-flight checklist and that quick conversation is probably pretty darn intelligent. And then the last is the people. So platform, process, and people. Who do you have around you that is going to help you with this listing? Do you have Michelle's phone number on speed dial? Because she's a wizard and can answer questions on the ready. Are you sure you've got her number? That's probably good. Do you have your MLOs intact? Do they know what they're doing? Do MLOs get it? Do they have their laptops charged? Are they scheduled for the right day? Are you sure? Or is it that day that dad has to stay home and babysit because mom's home and now they got to schedule conflict and now you have no MLOs? Like all of that kind of logistical stuff we all get. None of it's smart, fancy pants stuff, but it's just checking boxes, making sure we do the review. And then if that checks out, good. Yeah, you're good to go. Your pre-flight checklist is green and roger that.
Yeah, what I love about this, doing this, it's a way for us to get better at what we do as a community. The whole idea of Mondays is like, what did you run into problem-wise? So actually what Greg's proposing, let's actually try to solve all the problems before we have Manic Monday. And what are the problems? Let's try to, as a community, And then again, nobody has to change anything that they're going to do, but we're just all here to learn off each other, right? And make us that much stronger. So, anyways, I love it, but that's coming soon. So these are the things that we want to do to help you guys get better at what you do, and also it gives us a chance as a community to stay involved in each other. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that, like, well, anyway, I'm getting off the rails here, but I appreciate everybody. I hope you guys got some value out of this thing. Next Thursday, it's supposed to be the hard money lenders. And maybe we really need to focus better on making sure that everything you put up on the site sells. I need you guys, just like all of us. You know, it's not an easy business anymore because of the bills everybody's being sold. But together we'll figure all this stuff out and make us better and be ahead of the trend rather than behind the trend. So that being said, thanks everybody. Don't forget about Mondays. Everybody's got my cell number. Quinn, I'll be sending you out that video. Ace, I'll copy you on the video as well on the listing presentation. And anyways, we'll talk soon. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, El.
Thanks so much for tuning into Easy Real Estate Platform's Topic Thursdays. We hope to see you again next week, and make sure you check out our Facebook groups. The links are in the description.